Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to Candy's Cozy Couch. My name is Candace, and my nickname is Candy. That's how I came up with that really adventurous name. At least I think it's pretty adventurous. Alright, so the story tonight is going to be pretty adventurous. I'm pretty excited about that. If you guys like my new cuddle buddy, as of Valentine's Day, or just slightly after, I saved him from the store shelf. And now he's a part of my Candy's Cozy Couch family of cuddle buddies all over random spots on the couch. Anyway, boys and girls, you know what time it is. I think I need to make an announcement. Hold up, wait. Attention, attention. Tonight's instrument is the megaphone, bullhorn, loudspeaker. It's time for the checklist. Boys and girls, it's time for the checklist. Hello, it's time for the checklist. Yes, indeed, it's time for the checklist, just like this. That is all. All right, and now let's get to it. I had to use this for something. I know y'all like, she just be having the darndest stuff. I do, I know. All right, boys and girls, let's see. Have you had a great dinner? Is your stomach full? Are you satisfied? Give me a check for that one. Have you done your homework? It's only Thursday night, so you gotta make sure you do your homework now. Homework, homework. Check. All your chores done? All your pertinent chores that you're required to do as your contribution to your household. Make sure you do those chores, boys and girls. Check. Let me see, what else? I'm trying before I get into the really getting ready for bed part. Homework, chores, dinner. Did you have some family time already? Family time could be watching a movie together, playing games, having a conversation, doing a special activity, arts and crafts. Make sure you incorporate family time. Maybe not this late in the evening, but I just thought about it. Maybe just before dinner time would be a good time for some family time. Check. All right, baths and showers. Did anyone take their baths or their showers? Are you fresh and clean and refreshed? Check. Got your PJs on, your favorite ones specifically. Y'all see what I'm rocking tonight? Yes. Check. Did you brush your teeth? Are they shiny and white and glistening and all pearly and your breath all fresh? Check. How about your ears? Who cleans their ears? Who swabs their ears a little bit with a Q-tip? And make sure your ears are clean so you don't have any issues there. Check. Oh, let's see, what else? Did you brush your hair, comb your hair, wrap your hair, tie your hair, put on a hat, put on a hood that goes with your pajamas? In my case, that's the case. Did you take care of your hair before getting in bed? Check. All right. Also, is your room clean? Now, I mentioned the other chores earlier, but I specifically do not want you guys to go to bed with a messy room. You make sure you clean your room, because that is the first place you have to leave from to get to the bathroom at night, in the middle of the night. And speaking of getting around at night, in the middle of the night, do you have a night light? Check. So clean room gets a check. Check. Night light gets a check. Let's see, what else? Did you give your hugs, kisses, and smooches, and I love yous to your family members and pets that live with you? And if you happen to have guests over from time to time, your friends as well. Check. All right, let's see what else. Boy, I'm really just add a couple things are new that I added to it, because I really want to have a thorough checklist. So I really want to send you guys to bed all settled. No worries. Now, last but not least, did you say your prayers? If you didn't say your prayers, make sure you say your prayers before you go to sleep. Check. All right, boys and girls, I'm getting back on track with our Black History theme, since it is still February. And tonight's book is The Impact, Heritage Kids, and it presents Kumi and Shanti tell the story of Matthew Henson. And this is an Impact Black History publication series. So I can show you all of that said, so you see what we're going to be reading tonight. And let's go right into it because it has quite some information in here. So here we go. Kumi and Shanti are two African children. They have been given great magical powers and sent on a very special mission. Their mission is to be the caretakers of African American history, and they are to take this history to children of the world. Kumi is 8, his sister Shanti is 6. They can travel all over the world through space and time. In so doing, they watch and record true stories about great African American lives and deeds. When Kumi and Shanti touch the golden chairs, they can fly. When they sprinkle themselves with their special dust, they can become invisible. When they use their magic twigs, they can change into anything they wish. Join Kumi and Shanti in their exciting world of African American history. This story is about Matthew Henson. Right, so this is what I just read. Finally stocked up, got some more books from the library. We are good to go. Here we go. Matthew Henson has a very interesting story, Kumi. I know, Shanti. He will one day stand on top of the world. Matthew Alexander Henderson was born in Charles County, Maryland. Both of his parents died when he was very young. Matthew lived with his uncle in Washington, D.C. So I'll give you a chance to see that page. Matthew certainly seems to like school. He's quite smart, Shanti. Matthew attended school in Washington. To help his uncle pay the bills, he worked after school in a restaurant washing dishes. When he was 12, Matthew ran away to Baltimore, Maryland. There he met the captain of the ship, Katie Hines. Captain Childs liked Matthew very much and hired him as a cabin boy. All right. New fresh pages here together. Matthew will now get a chance to travel all over the world. He will also study very hard and become a very good seaman. The Katie Hines became Matthew's home and school. Captain Childs had many books on geography, history, math, and literature. He became Matthew's teacher, and Matthew wanted to learn all that he could. For 6 years, Matthew sailed the seas. The Katie Hines visited many different countries. When Captain Childs died, Matthew returned to Washington, D.C. Very interesting. Look, Kumi Matthews. Look, Kumi. Matthew has a job in a clothing and hat shop. This is the beginning of a very important adventure for him. One day, Lieutenant Robert Perry visited the store to buy a hat. Perry saw what a hard worker Matthew was and hired him. Perry needed a servant to travel with him to Nicaragua. Matthew Henson, expert seamanship, was also very helpful to Perry. He needed someone to help him chart paths through the swamps and jungles of Nicaragua. His job was to survey Nicaragua in order to build a canal. The canal was to connect the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Matthew Henson obviously has had an interesting life. Perry wants to do what no one else has done before. Aren't his plans dangerous, Kumi? Perry returned to America. He then decided that he wanted to explore the Arctic. He wanted to cross the northern tip of Greenland and then go on to reach the North Pole. Perry asked Henson to go with him. Brr, it's cold, Kumi. We need warmer clothes. The kite was the ship that they would use. With his team of men and supplies, Perry reached the southern end of Greenland and made camp. Man, they're on a journey, an adventure indeed. These clothes are much better, Kumi. Greenland is a body of land that leads to the North Pole. The North Pole is a mass of ice and snow. Underneath this ice and snow is water, the Atlantic Ocean. Because of this flowing ocean, the masses of ice and snow are always changing. They break up and move from one place to another. The North Pole is the northernmost point or top of the earth. It is a very cold place. It sometimes reaches 60 degrees below zero. Water freezes at 32 degrees above. The strong freezing Arctic winds also add to the danger. It is hard to survive under such conditions. But you know what? That walrus is doing it. And other wildlife that have adapted to the environment are doing it. And people are resilient enough, so they do it too. I like it here, Kumi. The Eskimos are kind people. Perry and his men used their Greenland camp as a home base. There they would prepare for their trip north. They would often return to camp after many failures to reach northern Greenland and the North Pole. Perry and his men got along well with the Eskimos. They would trade with them. The Eskimos taught them how to hunt, skin animals, build igloos, and drive dog sleds. The men also learned the Eskimo language. So yes, there are people that are called Eskimos. And of course, if you are an Eskimo, you definitely can adapt to very frigid cold environments. The Eskimos think that Henson is an Eskimo from another land. That's because of his brown skin, Shanti. The Eskimos gave Henson the name Me Paluk. It means dear little Matthew. They accepted and loved him as a brother. The Eskimo women made warm clothing for Perry and his men. They would chew the skins to make them soft and then sew them into pants and coats. They used the same furs that kept the Arctic animals warm. Ah, yes. Check that out. That's very awesome. Look, Kumi. Henson has to remove his gloves. He has to be careful, Shanti, or his hands will freeze. Henson soon learned to handle the dog sleds as well as the Eskimos. He also became very good at building and repairing the sleds. Henson is also an excellent hunter. He's not afraid. They will use the bear meat for food and the fur for clothing. That is right. So they have to do a degree of hunting in order to survive. Poor bear, but it's kind of how it goes. Come on, Shanti. We're going on another trip. I hope it's not as dangerous as the other ones. On March 1st, 1909, Perry and Henson decided to try for the North Pole. One more time. They packed their sleds with the many supplies that they needed. Henson also took his Bible. They would be gone for many, many days. Wow. Boy, I'm really intrigued by this story. After each day of struggling to travel as many miles as possible, the men would make camp. Henson would build his igloo. This would protect him from the bitter cold and freezing winds. Although Henson is trying, he won't get much sleep. He has to keep moving to keep from freezing to death. Oh, yeah. Very important. Movement helps circulate the blood flow in your body. Standing still and cold will just freeze you like a popsicle. Each day, Henson and his 4 Eskimo helpers would drive their sleds through high winds and hills of ice. They have to use pickaxes to clear a path. In the wind and cold, it is almost impossible to breathe. Oh man, that's crazy. I didn't think about that. Lots of wind and cold. Very hard to breathe. Oh man, that's not good. After all these years of trying, they have finally made it. It just goes to show, if the first time you don't succeed, try and try again. Days and days of struggle had passed. However, on April 6, 1909, their effort paid off. Perry, Henson, and the 4 Eskimos reached the North Pole. Matthew Henson and Perry planted the American flag at the top of the world. A dream had come true. Oh, that is pretty awesome. Can you see that? You can do whatever you wish if you put your mind to it. After returning to America, recognition was also coming to Henson. He was not given any credit from the white world for reaching the North Pole. Henson took a job as a parking attendant for $16 a week. Oh, Jesus. Matthew Henson is being honored all over by his people. He is receiving a gold medal. Colored Commercial Association of Chicago. All right, so he was honored and acknowledged for his awesome accomplishments, and that's important. That's all anyone ever asks for their accomplishments, is that someone recognizes and can attest to their achievement. Kumi Matthew Henson died in 1955. Yes, but he was finally given credit by the whole world as being the co-discoverer of the North Pole. Boy, I learned something tonight. Boys and girls, I hope you learned from this awesome story as well. We have many more exciting stories to tell. Be sure to read our other books. Okay, so we know who these guys are now, and hopefully I'll look forward to getting more of them. I'll make sure to request specifically this publishing book. All right, boys and girls, that was a pretty extensive story, and I think it was very adventurous. Nice job. We learned about Mr. Matthew Henderson, so that's awesome. And now it's time for you guys to dream your special dream. Be adventurous and discover something really awesome, just like Matthew Henson did. Simply close your eyes. Whisper to yourself what you would like to dream about. Relax your body. Get comfy, cozy, snug as a bug in a rug in bed. Be still, be quiet, be relaxed, be calm, and just be awesome. Allow yourself to drift off to sleep so you can dream your special dream. Me and my new cuddle buddy and my favorite older cuddle buddy are going to bid you good night so that you can get right down to dreaming that special dream so I can dream mine too. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.